Good morning. In the last class, we had studied the introductory part of the poem La Bella Dame Sans Mercy, that is, The Lady Without Mercy, which is written by The Beautiful Lady Without Mercy, a poem which is written by John Keats. Okay, the title has been extracted from a French poem that is La Bella Dame Sans Mercy, and which is written by Alan Carter. Okay, so yesterday I have told you the theme of the poem, the summary of the poem, that a knight has fallen for attraction of a beautiful lady. Okay, he makes garland for her, and he makes her to sit on his horse. They had a good rides on the horse throughout the forest, and later, not of controlling of his desire, he kisses on her lips for 4 times. She takes him to a cave, or she invites him to a cave, and there, in written, she makes him to sleep, and while she was making him to sleep, she sings lullaby for him. Okay, so later, and in the sleep, he had a nightmare, means he had a very bad dream. The bad dream was that he met with some other kings, some knights, and also some prince. They all were cheated by this mischievous and the mysterious lady, and suddenly he wakes up. Then he looks around him. He was in the cave. Then nobody was with him, and even the lady was not there, the beautiful lady who had invited him to this mysterious cave. Even she was not there in the cave. Then he understood that he had become a fool. So he was searching outside the cave here and there. There he meets with a speaker, or an unknown speaker, or a poet. He was asking him question, why are you so pale in face? Okay, you are suffering from some internal pain. I could sense the pain, but I don't understand what make you to feel so bad. So he goes on asking questions for all the three stanzas, and the poem is there in 12 stanzas. Okay, remember, the poem is there in 12 stanzas. The first three stanzas are the questions asked by the speaker or the poet. Then the rest, all other 9 stanzas, are the answers given by Knight. Okay, so yesterday we have dealt with two of the stanzas. Okay, in two of the stanzas, the poet asks us, or the speaker asks, to the. Have I shared the screen with you? Is the screen visible to you?
No, ma'am.
No,
Okay,
ma'am.
okay, just a second. Now is it visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
okay, good. Huh. See, in the first stanza, there was a question. Oh, what can ail thee, knight at arms, alone and palely loitering? The sedge has withered from the lake, and no bird sings. If you have book and pencil with you, please mark down or write the meaning of the old or the archaic English. Okay. Oh, what can ail thee? Ail means, okay, oh, what can ail thee? Thee means you. Ail is what? Internal pain. Okay. So what internal pain is making you to feel so bad? Knight at arms. Okay, he's asking. The poet is asking to knight at arms. Knight at arms means, okay, as I have told you, that a king or a knight who always render service for beautiful women. Okay, a king or a knight always render his service for beautiful arms. Sorry, beautiful ladies. Okay, so the speaker or the poet ask him a question. What internal pain, okay, are you suffering from, knight at arms, alone and palely loitering? You are wandering here and there alone, okay, and you are very sad, alone and pale. Pale is what? Very sad. Okay, you are alone and palely loitering here and there. The sedge has withered from the lake. The sedge, as I have told you, that it is a flower. Sedge is a flower. Okay, the sedge has withered from the lake. And no bird sings. Here again, the poet says that the situation or the condition of the nature is so vast that okay, the nature is not inspiring us to have uh, a romantic time or a romantic feeling now, because the poet asked him why he is sad and wandering alone near the lake where no green grass is left. Okay, no green grass is left and no bird is singing. So even the birds at least are not happy. How a man could be happy? So in such a situation, why are you wandering from here and there? The poem begins with the poet's question to the night, "For what can ail thee?" The praise "what can ail thee" reflects that the night is in ail or the internal pain or trouble and distress. The poet asks him why he is sad and wandering alone near the lake where no green grass is left and no bird is singing. The season described in the poem is that of winter. In the literature, winter symbolizes solitude. As I have told you that solitude is always the indication of loneliness, paleness. Okay, so solitude, sorrow, and grief. This is also refers to the fact that the knight at arms is grieved. Second stanza. What can hope? What can ail the knight at arms? Has haggard and so begone. The squire's granary is full and the harvest is done. So the second stanza is also the continuation of the first stanza. As I have told you that the poem is consist of 12 stanzas. Among 12 stanzas, the first initial three stanzas, okay, the first initial three stanzas are the questions which have been asked by the poet or the unknown speaker himself. And the rest nine, all stanzas are the answers given by the knight. So here the poet again asks the question that, "Oh, what can ail thee, knight at arms, so haggard and so begone?" So haggard means you are having so strict face, okay? So angered, weird face, okay? So what made you to have such a face now? Okay, what made you to worry in such a way? Haggard means a tight face, okay? When someone will have a face when they are very angry and annoyed with somebody's actions. So this is what the haggard mean, okay? And this begone means dejected or downbeat, okay? Gloomy, okay? Gloomy means a kind of a face which is completely depressed. See, haggard means a tight face, okay? There is no a simple small smile in the face, okay? And begone is what a kind of a depressed face. So the poet or the unknown speaker is asking, "Oh, what can ail thee? What making you to suffer more from the internal heart, right at arms? Your face is so haggard, means you have a so tight face where not a single piece of the smile the face has, and it is oh begone." Okay, oh begone means, as I have told you, that your face is completely depressed. Your face is completely depressed, and the squirrel's granary is full, and the harvest is done. See, when we were child, okay, or the children, we all had listened to a story of a squirrel and an ant. Okay, so the squirrel and an ant, this squirrel and an ant, they have a special kind of nature that they always they secure, they store their food, okay, before the winter or before the rainy, they always they secure their food. So here, now we have got an indication of winter season where there will be the heavy snowfall in the western countries, like how the India receives the highest rainfall. In the same way, they receive the floodful snowfall in all the western countries. So here the poet asking to the night that even the squirrels, okay, they have started storing, they have already stored their granaries, okay, or the grains, food grains, and the squirrels granary is full, and the harvest is done. Okay, the harvest, okay, the cutting of the grains, like the wheat, jawar, uh, paddies, ragis, everything is done. And even the squirrels, they all have started storing, and already they have stored their granaries. Okay, and in such a situation, you are wandering here and there. This is a very sensitive thing, that even the squirrels, okay, the small tiny creatures, okay, the small tiny insects creatures, they have understood very well about the season, because the upcoming season, that is winter season, that is not at all good for wandering out, or that not at all good for having a tour over outside. Okay, so even such a small tiny little insects understand that the upcoming days are not good for wandering out. But what happened to you, that your face is haggard, means it has become very tight, and it is not having a single simple smile on your face, and you so begone. Okay, as I have told you, that your face is so depressed. Okay, the squirrel's granary is full. Okay, the squirrels has started storing its food, and already it has stored, and the harvest is also done. So in such a situation, why are you standing out? Why are you wandering from this place to another place? So let us see here. In the second stanza, the poet repeats the same question. He asks the knight at arms why he is tired and miserable in appearance. So haggard is what? The tight face. Okay, he is miserable and he is tired in the appearance. In this stanza, he refers to the winter season by telling that the squirrel is done with collecting its grains, and even the harvest is also done. These two symbolizes that, okay, the season or the time, it refers to the time of loneliness, coldness, and grief. Okay, so the time of loneliness, coldness, and grief. In such a worst situation, my dear king, why are you out of the house, or why are you out of the palace? So this is the question asked by the speaker or the poet himself. So let's see what's there in stanza third. Just a second. I see lily on thy brow, with anguish moist and fear dew, and thy cheeks fading rose, fast withered too. Here, the poet explains what are the facial changes of the nights. Okay, on the faces, what kind of a changes that the poet could sense. The same thing the poet is repeating here. Okay, see here, the poet says that. Uh, I see a lily on thy eyebrow. Okay. I see a lily on thy eyebrow. Okay. Eyebrows, eyebrows, which are the, kind of a hair which are there on your eyes. So those are what the lily eyebrows. Okay. So I could see, those lily eyebrows. But those lily eyebrows are with anguish moist and pure dew. Those lily eyebrows are with anguish moist. Those lily eyebrows, now those are not bright, and they are not shining with smile or a kind of a happiness. Those eyebrows are with anguish moist and pure dew. Okay, so your eyebrows are uh, your eyebrows are consist of anguish, means angry, full of moist and fear dew. See, when you are very angry or when you work hard, you will get the sweat on your foreheads. Okay, everybody get the sweats on their forehead, even though when they are angry, then also they will get. So your face is having, your eyebrows are also having, means just beside or just above the eyebrows, you starts getting sweat. So the sweat is, I could sense the sweat on your eyebrows. Your eyebrows are lily eyebrows. Okay, but now they are with anguish moist and fear dew. And on thy cheeks, on your cheeks, okay, on your cheeks means on your face cheeks. Okay, it is a fading rose. Always, it was a blooming rose, but today I could find a fading rose, fast withered too. Okay, fast withered too means it's fastly fading too. means it's fastly it's losing, it is color. What we can say that it is slowly going down. Batti hogudu anta ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ. Withering means what? Completely lowing down, okay, or completely going down. So your facial charm or the facial attraction or the facial happiness is withering, means it is going down. So what is the reason for all these? Here, see, the poet tells the knight at arms, means the person or the man who always rendered service for the ladies. The poet asks to that man that there is lily on his eyebrow, that is, his face is without color and is pale like lily. There are sweat and pain in his forehead. That depicts that the knight at arms is sick. In the final line, the poet says that the color of the knight at arms face is fading quickly like that of withered rose. Till here, the poet is talking and raising questions to the knight at arms, because uh, in the all three stanzas he asks question. In the first stanza he says that I could sense the internal pain that you are suffering from, okay. So and you were wandering on the lakeside where even the sedge flower is not there and even the birds are not singing, there is no grass at all. So in such a worse situation you are out and you are wandering here and there. So what making you to wander? And in the second stanza, he explains that the whole Western country or the Western place are suffering from the painful disease of loneliness and the aloneness, because the season is winter, even the harvest is done, and the squirrel has end up with storing its granaries. But also, why are you going out and wandering out? And I could sense that your eyebrows are like lily brows. Means lily brows means these lily flowers, they don't have any other shading colors or attracting colors, okay. So your eyebrows are painted like lily brows, okay. And your there are sweat and pain in the in your forehead, and that depicts that the knight at arms is sick, okay. Then his facial charm is okay, fading like how the rose fades its color day time by time. So what making you to fade or to be so sad or to be so pale in your appearance? The poet is asking question to the knight. So the next stanza is the answer given by the poet. The rest nine stanzas, the answers given by the poet, sorry, the knight himself. So the knight now he tells that I met a lady in the midst. Okay, so I met a lady in the midst. She is full beautiful, a fairest child. Her hair was long, her foot was light, and her eyes were wild. So here the knight he explains about his situation, okay. So he says that he met a lady in the mid, okay. Here the word mead is what? An alcoholic drink of fermented honey and water. So when he was intoxicated, the poet, sorry, the knight, when he was intoxicated or when he was in nasha, what we can say, okay. So when he was intoxicated or when he was in nasha, he met with a beautiful lady. He came across a beautiful lady. He was just like a fairish child. Fairish child means, see, when we were children, okay, we always used to listen to stories of Cinderella. Okay, so that is what a fairy tale. In the fairy tale, we always get the beautiful child or a beautiful lady or a beautiful woman. So, like how the women have been explained in the fairy tales or in the those old stories. Okay, like the same woman I met with a same woman. Okay, I met a lady in the midst. Midst means, as I have told you that, okay, a person who was intoxicated or a person who is in a dicey mode. Okay, after having toxins or after having these intoxication drinks. So in such a dicey mode, he met with a beautiful lady. Okay, she was just like fairy's child. Means how in the fairy stories, the childrens are there. So she was such a beautiful child. Her hair was long, her foot was light, and her eyes were wild. So her hair was long. The knight was explaining her beauty now, how beautiful she was, and what made him to fall for her beauty. So here The lady had a long hair, and her foot was very light, and her eyes were wide. Now, after listening to the question, okay, the knight raised by the poet, the knight at arms. The knight at arms means the person or the knight who render service for only for women. He answers that he met a beautiful lady in the meadows. She had a long hair, white feet, and passionate eyes. Wild eyes means very wild, attractive eyes. Okay, she seemed to be a fairy's child. Okay, she seems to be so beautiful that a fairy's child. See here, once again, I repeat, the poet, okay, or the unknown speaker asked to Knight that why are you so pale in your appearance? Okay, why are you, what is the reason for your internal pain? Okay, see now the London or the whole Western is facing the winter season, where the winter season is known for its loneliness and okay aloneness. But you are wandering here and there. Even not a single grass is there on the lakeside, and no birds are singing. The harvest is also done, and the squirrels have started. They have stored their food, because now the upcoming season or the uh, uh, time or the period is of winter season. Okay, so in the winter season, it snow falls very heavily. It not allow anybody to go out. So in such situation, why are you out, and what making you to be so sad? So the stanza fourth is the first stanza where the knight at arms, okay, where the knight at arms opens his mouth. So he says that, see, in the meadows, okay, means in the intoxication mode, when I had a little intoxication or alcoholic drink, okay, I met with a beautiful lady. She was so beautiful that she was fairy's child. Means in the fairy's stories, how we have come across the beautiful lady or the beautiful children. In the same way, she was also dressed, and she was also looking such a beautiful. Okay, her hair was long, and her foot was light, and she has a very wild eyes. So this was her appearance. Okay, she was like this. She was so beautiful. So in the stanza fifth, okay, I made a garland for her head, and bracelets too, and fragrant zone. She looked at me as she did love, and made sweet moan. Here he explains that what all the good things that he did. See, within a fraction of seconds or within a fraction of minutes, when he was taken, means her beauty takes away him. Okay, her beauty takes away him to the mode of pleasures. Okay, to the mode of what pleasures. So in the mode of that love or the romantic, as I have told you that the poet, or sorry, the knight, he did not have a love with her, but it was an infatuation, it was an attraction. So when he was completely fallen in love or fallen for her beauty, okay, she was so beautiful as like a fairy's child, and she had a very wide eyes, very light white foot. Okay, and he met her in the meadows, means when he was drunk. Okay, he met her with her beauty in the meadows. Okay, so when he had fallen for her beauty, he made garland for her, means he made a beautiful big flower for her head, which adds beauty to her. Okay, and he made bracelets too with the same flowers. He made bracelets too, that becomes a fragrant zone. So when he made or prepared this flowers for her head, or the garland for her head, and the bracelets for her hand, this added the fragrant zone. Okay, this created a romantic zone, a fragrant zone. Okay, she looked at me as she did love. Okay, she looked at him as she did love, and made sweet moan, and she made sweet moan. Okay, the sweet moan means she, okay, uh, uh, put some sounds. Okay, she made a sound, a low sound, expressing physical or mental suffering or sexual pleasure. Okay, so how moan means what, expressing the sexual pleasure. Okay, so when they make some sounds, when they express this sexual pleasure. Okay, when I made garland for her head, and bracelets, okay, that created a fragment, okay, or a beautiful fragment zone, okay, where the fragrance was very pleasurable. So she took me, okay, or she looked at me as she did love, okay, and she made a sweet moan, okay. Moan means, as I have told you, that, okay, the sound of the sexual pleasure, okay. So here, let us see the deep meaning. After meeting that lady, the knight at arms falls in love with her. As a token of love, he gives her a garland made up of intertwined flowers for her head, okay, and bracelets and fragrant zone, that is a belt made up of flowers for her waist. The lady also responds to his love by looking at him with the affection and making sweet meons. Okay, see here, he did a garland for her head and bracelets for her hand, and also, okay, a flower, okay, again a big flower for her waist, okay, kamarbandi. So when, as a token of intoxicating him or attracting him much, okay, she makes the sound of meons, okay, means a sexual pleasurable sound. Probably they do love making and also had sex, okay. Probably they do love making and also had sex. In this perspective, the fragrant zone may refer to her female parts, which the poet loved and kissed, okay. So which the poet loved and kissed. So the next stanza, that is the sixth stanza. Just a second. Okay, I set her on my pacing steed, and nothing else saw all day long. For side along would she bend and sing a fairy song. So after that love-making situation, after having the sex, after spending romantic time, or after spending the quality time, okay, they wander on the horse. Okay, afterwards the knight takes her along with him on his horse. Pacing steed means, okay, he took her on his horse, and the whole day they spend time with each other. The lady also sings songs for the knight at arms that seems to him as the fairy songs, that is very melodious. So after after spending the pleasurable times, the knight at arms took her on his horse, and they wandered from here and there. Okay, so she sang the beautiful melodious songs for him. Those were the fairy songs. And the seventh stanza, she found me roots of relish sweet and honey wild and manna dew, and sure in language strange, she said, I love thee true. So she was trapping him for love. Okay, she was making him fool. So here he says that relish means very tasty fruit. Okay, she found me roots of relish sweet. Okay, roots means like how we have this like sweet potatoes. Okay, so whatever the things, eatable things which they get in the forest. Okay, so she found, okay, relishing what is that, roots for me, okay, and honey wild. Okay, honey wild means the honey is the sweetest honey, and the manna dew. Okay, manna dew means like it is a beautiful uh, uh, visualization of the dew, okay, like the dew drops, okay, and the manna drives. And sure, in the strange language, in the strangest of the strangest language, she said, I love thee true. Thee means you. I love you true. Truly, I love you. She said in the strange language, I love you truly. Okay. The lady, then when he gives her, okay, when the knight gives her a bracelet, a garland, okay, and everything in a written, okay, okay, as a token of returns, the lady then gives him a tasty and sweet food to eat, including the tasty roots, honey of wild bees, and sweet gum of manas. Okay, though he couldn't understand her language, it seems to him that she said, I love you truly in her own language. So here we end. We have only 1 minute. Please start inserting your roll number immediately. Quick. We have only 3 minutes of time. Be quick, start inserting your roll numbers. See, Siddharth Burji, roll number 259. Siddharth Burji, roll number 259. Are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Will you please on your camera for 1 minute? Not for 1 minute, at least for 10 seconds. Okay, thank you. Are you understanding the poem?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Are you facing any difficulty?
No, ma'am.
Okay. How is the poem?
Good one, ma'am.
Good one. Kirti, roll number 218. Am I audible to you, dear? Kirti Shah. Kirti, am I audible to you?